What? No well-regulated militia?
No, I didn't feel like doing that this time.
But it's every second matters.
It is every second matters. Maybe I should have done that. I'm
Maybe
not near
you
my
should
drums
have.
though.
You could just,
I'll throw it in the middle somewhere. It'll be a surprise.
All right. Anyways, welcome everyone to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike. We're going to talk about a couple things tonight. Maybe some of us are burned out talking about it. We may broach the subject, talk about it. We might not. It depends on what happens. We got a couple topics to talk about tonight. But before that, I'm going to introduce my panel. As always, my co-pilot / co-host, Smeggy42. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for the awesome intro.
Oh, thanks for lying to the audience about how awesome it is. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. How's everyone doing? And check out my Instagram, Smeggy42 on Instagram.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, we have Travis P11. Travis, thank you for showing up today.
Hey, man, dude, I appreciate the invite. Guys, you can check me out over on gunchannels.com on the Ordinary Average Guy Gun channel. And my channel on YouTube, make sure you're running non-restricted mode. It's Travis P11, although I don't understand why, but okay.
I have another plug. Since today, you already mentioned it is Every Second Matters.
It
We had a pretty good 2-hour Every Second Matters chat today. The first hour was spent on something we're going to talk about here, so you can get some other people's opinion, even though our opinions are the correct ones. And then the second hour, there was a lot of stuff that happened state level in April. I had like 20 tabs opened of gun laws being passed or introduced or signed or vetoed or blah, 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 whatever. And honestly, most of them were pro, and there was a handful of anti, but most of them were pro. So that's encouraging. The state levels are chugging along, man. Constitutional carries, and some of them were little stuff, but everything helps.
Yep, absolutely. So, what do you want to get into first, Max? Do you want to talk about what you wanted to talk about first?
No, let's start with your thing.
All right, so it's no surprise. Everybody's gone over it. I know it's kind of getting old, but I wanted to talk about on the Hit or Miss. Everyone's by now has heard about the so-called, how did Robsky say it, the betrayal of Rock River Arms and Springfield Armory to the Second Amendment community for the shitty law that the Illinois Senate just passed. Now, granted, yes, the Illinois Senate has passed it, but it still has to go through the Illinois House and get signed by the governor. So there is still a chance, however slim, that the governor will veto it, or even the House will refuse to vote on it.
And I just want to say, if every single person who left a comment on Instagram posts and YouTube videos and all this stuff saying, I'll never buy Springfield, screw them, they suck, blah, 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 whatever. If they took that exact amount of time and sent the thing to Illinois, he sure as hell would get a lot better, like a lot more work done than just bitching about a company, which they didn't write the thing, they didn't introduce the thing. All they did was carve out some exceptions that helps them and to help some other people, but not very many. It kind of throws everyone else under the bus.
But I do want to say this, okay? Smeggy, you are right, but I want to say this. If you don't like how a company does things, one thing you should do that really gets to them and what really annoys them is send them an email. Send them a phone call up their complaint department if you have Springfield products, and let them know that you do not like the direction the company is going in, and if they persist, you will take your business elsewhere. Okay, I know that sounds corny, but the issue is you do that. You go and tell if you live in Illinois, you go and tell the Illinois government that you do not support this and you are unhappy about it, and then you tell your local Illinois, gun advocacy group that you do not support, laws like this, and you want them to do something about it.
Well, you don't just have to live in Illinois. I understand that not living in Illinois, it may fall on deaf ears, but you could say, hey, I was gonna plan a family trip to Chicago, but screw that, I'm going to Dallas instead or whatever. Like you can, even as an out of state person, you can still call up a state and be like, dude, you guys suck. What are you doing?
Right.
It's okay to do that. So, and like I said, the only reason I mentioned it is because I saw a huge backlash. Like the gun community is all about crapping all over all these companies and all that, and maybe it's deserved. You know, there's still some confusion on exactly what happened, all that stuff. That's fine. And if you want to do that, go ahead, knock stuff out. I don't care. I'm a big firm believer in voting with your wallet. Understand that completely. My point is, you spend all that time and effort. Social media has been blown up with this crap, and not a single one of those same social media people said, "Oh, and by the way, maybe we should try and call the governor and tell him to veto the law if it passes." Like, if you put that same amount of effort into, lobbying the legislature in the first place, then who cares what companies do because the law doesn't pass.
Right. But at the same time, if you have bought, Rock River Arms or Springfield Armory products in the past, I would say go ahead and call their PR or their complaint department and let them know that you don't like the direction they're going in.
After you called the governor.
After
if you haven't called the governor, you shouldn't even be picking up your phone. You're being a bastard if you do.
Right, but my point is, don't just try one avenue. Go for the whole enchilada, not just like the beef portion of it. Did that make any sense? I'm trying. Okay, so we went. I just wanted to talk on that.
Can we explain a little bit then? Because maybe there are people that haven't heard about it. We just assume everyone knows what we're talking about. So
I know. Let's go over it.
Let's explain what the let's start with the law part of it. What does it actually do? What does it say? All that kind of stuff.
All right. Let me bring up the law. The thing.
I almost agree with you, Smeggy, except for the fact that there's supposed to be a Second Amendment company, and the fact that you're right, people should protest this stuff more, but at the same time, Second Amendment company throwing their own people under the bus doesn't look good.
Oh, and I do understand that point, and I'm not giving them a pass at all. And like I said, I think there are some fuzzy details that we'll find out what happened, but it's just very frustrating coming from the Every Second Matters chat earlier today, where obviously all of us are like-minded, Second Amendment supporters and advocates, and maybe some of us do lobbying type stuff or whatever, local things and all that stuff. And then to see how much attention, like, fuck Springfield, they suck, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you could have spent just as much time saying to Illinois, hey, you guys suck, don't pass this. And it just, it frustrates me that the gun community is attacking companies, which, like I said, it very well could be completely deserved. Okay, fine, they suck, no one likes them, whatever. The more important thing is passing or not passing the law. You know what I mean? That's more important than being mad at a company after the fact. So that's where the effort should be, and that's the only reason why I mention it.
Okay, I'm trying to find this bill.
If you go to everysecondmatters.com and click on the State 2A section and go to Illinois, there's a link to the law right there.
That is a good idea. So everyone, if you want to find out or you want to post what's going on in your state, go to everysecondmatters.com and find your state and, keep everybody informed.
And I will give a little heads up. Here, let me screen share real quick while I go to find it. Screen share, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So something changed recently on Every Second Matters, like this thing kind of got cut off or whatever. So it is hard to read, but like right here in the gray, it says State 2A issues. And I don't know if that's coming through on the screen, but that's where you click. It looks like it's not there, right? You only see like this gray on black, and there's a gray on gray right here. So it's just a heads up. It needs something needs to be fixed. The template got changed or whatever. But anyways, you go through there, obviously you can see that there are all these states, and I went too far. So I guess it's on the second page. is where Illinois is.
And it's SB 1657, is it not?
So you go to Illinois. I'll tell you real quick. And
I
go
just
over
pulled it
to
up.
discussion. I hope people are still watching my screen. Come on, discussion. Yes. SB 1657. So you click into here and you can read. This is just a quick little summary. There's a link to the actual Illinois.gov bill status, and then this is a YouTube video from Artisan Tony where he called Rock River and was like, "Hey, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck happened." It's an interesting interview. I mean, maybe take it with a grain of salt or whatever, because obviously it's the Rock River PR person that he's talking to, but they kind of defend themselves a little bit in there. But yeah, you can go right over here to Illinois General Assembly, read the actual thing, see, what's going on, and go from there.
All right.
How do I stop screen sharing? Come on.
Are we gonna read it,
Yeah, we can do that.
or just go over it?
Right. I guess I'll do the synopsis here from the Illinois thing. So, creates a gun dealer licensing act, which provides that it's unlawful for a person to engage in the business of selling, leasing, or otherwise transferring firearms without a license issued by the Department of Financial and Professional Regulations. Provides that a dealership agent other than a dealer licensee in charge may act on behalf of licensees, blah, 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 some other crap. Creates a gun dealer licensing board consisting of 5 members appointed by the secretary, blah, 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 blah. So red tape. And so that's basically it. I mean, there's definitely plenty more. But the idea is, instead of just having an FFL, you would now also have to have a state gun dealer license. But then there is exemptions. Let's see. The provision of the bill exempts, and this is the part that I think Springfield and Rock was it Rock Island? Or
Rock River.
Rock River Arms, yeah.
Yeah. This is the part, and here's the thing. It wasn't necessarily them. They have a lobbying group that apparently there's 4 gun manufacturers in Illinois or whatever, and they're 2 of them, but they put up the most money, is that their lobbying group, again, this according to them, kind of acted without their knowledge type of thing and worked with the legislator to put in these exemptions or something like that. And that's where I'll admit to still being kind of fuzzy on that. But their stance basically we didn't know that the lobbyists were doing this, and now that we know this bill sucks, obviously we're against it.
Yeah,
that's kind of their stance. It could be backpedaling, could be cover your ass, but that's their stance.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
I'm sorry, if I'm giving somebody millions of dollars,
I
want to know what they're doing. I want to be tweeting.
Well, they gave him $50K, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, 50 grand. I'm sorry, but still.
50 grand is more than I make. So honestly, right then and there, shame on Springfield Armory or Rock River Arms, either of which. The issue with this is the fact that they went and paid this lobby group. This lobby group went and did this. This is going to affect both companies negatively, no matter how much backpedaling they do.
It will, but when you say the lobby group did this, what are you referring to? Because I think a lot of people think the lobbying group wrote this law, and that's not what they did.
They basically got kind of a plea bargain kind of thing.
They kind of worked with them to carve out some exemptions or whatever, but it's not. I don't know. It just. That's the part that, and I'm not trying to defend the companies necessarily. It's just, I think everyone's jumping on a bandwagon before all the information's in, type of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we know what exactly this invention?
Well, it was stuff like I'm not finding it in here. I guess I'll have to pull up the whole thing. G-Webs did this on Every Second Matters. It's like a 65-page bill or something. So it's in here somewhere, but basically, it exempts someone selling from a collection It exempts inheritance. There's another one. The thing that everyone's jumping on is that less than 9 transfers a year, or less than 10. So you can sell like 9 guns a year and not need like a gun license or whatever. But if you do more than that, then from the state's point of view, you're a gun dealer, and you'd have to have a gun dealer license. Even though an FFL or the ATF might decide, oh no, you're just a dude selling 12 guns or whatever. That's no big deal.
So, okay, the question I have, and I keep missing this, and I don't know if I'm like losing my focus on this when I listen to this. Every time I look at it, what exactly did Springfield do for themselves as a company? How did they cover themselves? Did they benefit from this negotiating that happened behind the scenes, aside from it being all these little exemptions that were carved out? Did it exempt something from Springfield that they don't have to do that other dealers, that other manufacturers now have to do?
Like, I'm not 100% sure on that.
From some kind of license or something? That, I mean, we keep talking about dealers, but did Springfield get some kind of a cut on? I mean, not cut, but like, did they get out of some kind of requirement that everybody else is going to have to take?
I would assume that Springfield and Rock River Arms are both licensed. They're not licensed as dealers, FFLs. They're licensed as manufacturers, which I would assume that they both have a Type 7 FFL instead of the normal dealer, which is, I think, a Type 1.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not going to have to get the special state license, and they wouldn't have to get the state license. It's just gun dealers, right? FFLs.
Well, it's anyone that the state decides is in the business of selling guns.
Right.
So they could technically have to get that same license too, if they're determined that they're a dealer, even though they're a manufacturer.
Well, I think that's where the exemption comes in. That's the part that helps them.
Okay.
I just clarified for the fact that, like, if you're a person and you're selling guns privately, the state's going to think of you as a dealer if you sell too many, because the exemption is less than 10. So if you sell more than 10, you don't qualify for the exemption. Now, if you're transferring a collection, then that's okay. Or if you're inheriting a bunch all at once, that's okay. Like the person who died didn't become a gun dealer because they gave you some stuff.
It's not okay with me, but,
Okay, I'm kind of curious on the language. Is it either sell or buy? That's considered one transaction out of 9? Could I sell 9 and go buy 9?
It's only about selling. Buying, because that's the other thing. People did jump all over, like, I can't buy more than 9 guns. No,
okay, that's what I kept hearing on all the YouTube channels. That's what everybody was saying. They're limiting you to 9 purchases a year. That's what had me all furious about it. I'm like, what?
I know, and that's the thing here. And here's why I'm trying to be correct as I can. Again, reading the whole 64 pages. I may be wrong myself, but the thing is, this law is crappy enough as it is. We don't need to hyperinflate something that doesn't really exist to be mad about it. Because if we do that and we say, like, oh, you can't even buy 9 guns, then the anti-gunners would be like, that's not what it says. You guys suck. And then our point's invalid. They stop listening to us. So I want to at least be accurate of saying it's all about selling. When they use the word transfer, they mean you transferring it to someone, as in you selling it, you
private sale,
you doing whatever. That's a transfer.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can buy whatever the heck you want, and you can buy it from whoever the heck you want.
But just the fact that Springfield didn't seem to make any kind of effort to fight it or to lobby against it, they just basically maybe they were oblivious to it. Maybe
their lobby group.
Hey, technically, any transfer of a firearm, either through whether you're buying or selling it, is a transfer. So, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, they could make an addition to the bill later on if it gets passed that they can limit the buying too. Which
I don't think
screw
they can.
Everyone over.
It's not how it works.
See, okay, that's a biggie right there.
I hear what you're saying, Heavy, but that's not. I'd have to find it in here. But the way that it's worded, they're talking about selling a gun, and you can't sell the gun. And again, that's just the exemption part, right? As long as you transfer less than 10, you're exempt. So as long as you sell less than 10, you're exempt.
Yeah.
And that's the only place where the word transfer shows up is when they're talking about that one exemption. All the other stuff is like you need to get this license if you're in the business of selling guns. So it's all about selling, which is still super, super shitty. So don't get me wrong on that. I'm certainly not defending the thing. And I'm not even defending those companies because I agree. The lobbying group should have been like, no, this whole law fucking sucks. I hate you. You're dumb. Instead of saying like, well, this is kind of dumb, but maybe you can scratch our back a little bit. That's the part that people are getting mad about.
Yeah.
They're still fucking the FFL, which means
Pink mentioned something in the chat.
Which is going to increase the cost of firearms that they do sell, which is going to pass on to the private citizen, which means they're going to have to pay more money. It's bullshit.
I 100% agree. And that's one of the things that people are worried about now is little mom and pop stores that, maybe they only make whatever X amount per gun anyways. And now they're already paying for their FFL and they're already, they already have all that overhead of, keeping the 4473s and having safes and all the other stuff they have to do federally to be a licensed dealer. And now the state could come in and be like, oh yeah, and by the way, you got to get this thing and you have to have this license renewed every year. And the state does audits every month and you got to take time out of your day. So you can't help customers to talk to us. And, who knows what is going to be involved in actually getting a state level gun license. So I completely agree. It's shitty as hell.
All right. Pink mentioned in the chat on the Gun Channel side that he believes it's a spinoff of Obama's executive order saying that, if you sell so many guns per year, you are a gun dealer. And it may very well
be. Obama never said that, though. But yeah, I know what you mean.
He did put an executive order in about that.
He put an executive order that was trying to clarify what being, this is in quotes now, in the business of selling guns. However, his clarification was still vague as hell, and everyone jumped on that there was a number like, oh, if you sell more than 12 guns, you're in the business. And that's not even what the thing said. That was something that Bloomberg had suggested he did, and he didn't do. So that's where the 12 guns a year thing came from.
Right.
Was Bloomberg suggested, like, maybe just make it if you sell 12 guns a year. And he's like, nah. And so that's where it's still vague of what does it mean to be in the business. And then the ATF listed a bunch of examples of things that might make you in the business, like, selling, new guns, like buying new guns and then reselling them right away with never opening the packaging, or advertising, or having a storefront, or all these things would make you like in the business. But those are just suggestions. Those are just guidelines. There was no like hard, fast rule of, if you do this, you are 100% in the business. If you don't do this, you're 100% not in the business. They still kept it vague.
Right. Pants brought up an interesting point right here. I'm going to read his point, word for word. But he said, think about this. You have a gun shop. You already have an FFL. Now you need a specialized state license, and maybe they won't give it to you. They may decide who does and doesn't get a license, even if they're already an FFL.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Then you would have to close shop.
Yeah. So this whole law is a double-edged sword, no matter how you look at it.
Oh, yep. It is shittier than shitty fucking stupid dumb face.
Oh man, Smeggy's getting out the curse words tonight.
I know. I know the audience likes when I get angry, but yeah, it is. It's stupid. It totally fucking sucks. Which is why I wish there was so much effort against the bill itself.
Is that the IFMA is there? They chose to pay them. If they're saying that they didn't know what they were doing, that's negligence on their part, and they did associate themselves with that organization, so they still hold blame.
Well, yeah, definitely. I'm just saying, like, that's just like if you hire someone and that employee does something bad. Like, it still can come back to you. If you're just like, well, I didn't know that's what he's doing. Well, then you're a shitty manager if you didn't know what your employee was doing. It's the exact same thing. They're a shitty keeping track of their lobbyists if they didn't know what their lobbyist was doing.
Well, the only bad thing I can see out of coming all this, because really right now I'm on the whole don't buy shit from Rock River or Springfield anymore thing too, is that there are a lot of employees that could potentially lose their job over this shit. So I don't know, maybe I need to step back and rethink my avenue to the book.
Right, and I see where you're going from, Heavy, but the issue is, the thing is, their company chose to be ignorant or negligent about where they place their money, where they invest in what lobbyists to help their company, politically, and this is one of those for any company that does this kind of thing and has this kind of backlash. This is technically a make or break moment for your company to whether your company sinks or swims. Okay. Because the issue is either the diehard people will continue to buy your products and hopefully keep you in business, or everyone will write you off as persona non grata and you are fucked.
Right. Well, I mean, just look at Cheaper Than Dirt. I mean, I know I sure as hell will never buy anything from them. And I know a lot of other people still won't buy anything from them either. No, they're obviously still kicking, so they're doing okay. But, there are some stuff you can do as a gun company that will totally screw you. I mean, Ruger did it too, right? There are still people who don't like Ruger because of the crap they pulled.
Exactly.
And how many years ago was that?
A long time ago.
No,
and,
exactly. I mean,
Smith and Wesson with the Hillary hole. I mean, some people don't forget. Other people do.
Now,
and that's fine. It's fine either way, in my opinion. You want to boycott, knock yourself out. You don't want to boycott? Well, okay, whatever. You purchase something you wanted to get. I don't care either way. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
I'm going to do what I feel like doing.
I agree, but I'm still going to say, regardless of what you choose, if you choose to still support them no matter what and get what you want to get, you're making a shitty decision. But, hey, it's your money. Waste it how you want.
Well, that's fine. I think
this is my opinion, of course, okay? Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm still allowed an opinion.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you're allowed to be wrong. I just think that, how can I phrase this? Was it bad for them to do that? Yeah. Should they have known what their lobbyist was doing? Yeah. Is that crappy? Sure. But is it as bad as if, a gun company, wrote legislation and had their lobbyists introduce it and whatever, or get, one of the people introduce, if they came up with the idea and were like, this is going to be totally awesome, we should totally do this, that'd be a lot worse than just, here's some shit that already exists that's crappy. We're going to at least try and make a deal so it's not as crappy, and then everyone's mad at them for it. It is crappy, but it's not as bad. It could be worse.
Yeah.
The speculation was, as long as they were against it, that bill wasn't going to pass.
How is that so, though? They owned all the other fucking votes that they were the deciding factor if it passed or not? Okay, I don't see them having that power.
According to, I got this information from Matt, but he said they needed 2 votes to get it to pass. And those 2 votes were hey, the people in my area and the IMF or IFMA don't like this, so it ain't going to pass. And then evidently they weaseled some kind of deal.
All right, so we got some breaking news here.
It's all speculation.
I've got some breaking news. Apparently, I just went and checked the gun news sources. Apparently, both Rock River Arms and Springfield Armory have gone into cover your ass mode.
Oh, yeah, they did that yesterday.
Yeah, and they've said that they've both severed ties with IFMA for acting against our principles from Springfield Armory, and Rock River Arms was, we quit IFMA over backdoor politics and convoluted deal making. That's great. You're in cover your ass mode. But the issue is, the fact is, you weren't paying attention in the first place. And if you're going to spread money around for lobbying, you need to keep on this shit. Hire someone to do it. Make it somebody's job where he actually has to go and follow this to make sure that they are working in the best interest of you and your customers.
Them and somebody watches them and somebody watches them. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere. So they paid a lobbying group thinking that they were going to work on the best on their behalf, and they didn't. And when they found out they didn't, they said, okay, fuck you guys, we're done, we're out. that may be about the best they can do. They can't go back in time and not give the people money. So, are they doing it to cover their ass? Yeah, probably. But it's good to hear that. I hadn't heard that one yet.
Well, if it's legitimately like they say that this shit was happening behind their back and they didn't realize it, they could go after the company civilly, the IFMA civilly too, to try and recoup that money, and that would probably show that it really was.
I'm not sure how that works when you donate to a lobbyist if they don't lobby for what you want them to, if they can be held liable. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. People get held liable for a lot less. I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying they're going to, but I mean, that would be a definite sign that they really didn't know what was going on.
Right, exactly. And again, I understand, yeah, you should know what your people are doing or whatever, but you can't just watch them 24/7. I mean, maybe they made this deal in over an hour dinner and a handshake, and then all of a sudden it's out, and then Springfield finds out about it and they say, hey, wait a minute, don't do that, that's dumb. So I guess I'm just trying to cut the gun companies a little more slack and be more pissed at the lobbying group itself and the legislature itself. Because if the law didn't exist to begin with, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So we should focus our energy on the law point of view, in my opinion.
But, I still say it's probably better to go do the whole enchilada rather than, just the beef portion, because the issue is, you can tell the governor you don't want him to do this, you can tell your legislators don't do this, but at the end of the day, if you don't tell the companies that they're fucking up, then they're going to continue said practices, or they're going to continue funding assholes like this.
Yeah, that lobbyist is fucked. I don't think any company's ever going to give that lobbyist money again. No. They might as well just close up shop and move to a different state. Or call Bloomberg and be like, hey, guess what? Apparently we're really good at being anti-gun. Give us money.
That's just maybe what they do. So, I just wanted to go over this. I know, Smeggy, you're tired of hearing about this, but I figured we needed to talk about it because it is something that I saw over the weekend that really burned me up, and I wanted to discuss it, okay? And I appreciate you for going along with it and helping me out with it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, like I said, we've talked about it a lot before, and there were some things mentioned right now. Like, I'm still forming my own opinion, so if I sound wishy-washy, it's because I am at this point. And because that's earlier at Every Second Matters, I was like completely against them, completely supporting them, somewhere in the middle, and everywhere in between all of those in our conversation. So
I just want to congratulate Night Strike and Smeggy. It sounds like the marriage counseling is really working out.
Oh, yes.
Apparently I just have to come every Tuesday, and he's happy.
Oh, God. You didn't have to say it like that.
Like what? You wanted me to come to the show, didn't you?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's better.
I mean, isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
All right, anyways.
Sit here and look pretty?
But no, Smeggy, thank you very much, man, because that does clarify a lot of what was riding my emotions is what I've been hearing the last 24 hours. And to actually hear the actual language, I mean, I think that's a biggie that people need to know. Doesn't justify anything Springfield did, but it sheds a little bit light on the situation.
Right.
But still, I mean, the ramifications of their lack of oversight on their lobbyists and the consequences it's going to hold in the end, that's really hard for me to look past. So that's all I got to say.
All right,
and that's fine. And like I said, I don't hold it against anyone for doing what they think is right. I just like for people to at least investigate and figure some stuff out before they form their opinion. Because like I said, I might be right behind you guys. I haven't decided enough yet that I'm definitely done with them forever type of thing. And maybe I will when more facts come out. But so yeah, I hope I could play devil's advocate there a little bit and get people to think some stuff. Because again, it's shitty enough as it is. We don't need to make stuff up to get pissed about. It's a crappy law no matter what. So the whole buying thing has got nothing to do with it. So let's still be mad about it because it's still dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got a question over on the emails. It's from one of the Gun Channel's members.
Check your emails, hoping that it's from a females.
Okay, Strong Bad.
Nice, you got the reference.
It's like, hey, Strong Bad, do you like techno?
The system is down. The cheat,
It's down.
I installed that light switch so the cheat could turn the lights on and off. Not to have techno raves.
Not to have light switch raves. Yes.
Light switch raves. Yeah.
Okay, we are showing our nerd a little bit. I'm sorry, it is hit or miss, so it's applicable. Anyways,
but it was still Trogdor!
Burninating the peasants.
Burninating the countryside.
All right.
Burninating all the peoples and the thatch roof cottages! Thatch roof cottages!
What the hell lobby am I saying? What is going on? Am I missing something here? Is this...
all right.
What?
So let's get back on track, Specs. We're getting off track. Okay.
Oh, man.
What happened to Trevor the vampire? Did they get you?
All right. Our friend Rupan, Rupan on Gun Channels, sent us in a question.
Winnie the Pooh dude, right?
What?
Isn't he like Winnie the Pooh or something?
His little
Some
avatar.
bear?
Who?
I thought he was like some little like bear icon or something.
Yeah, what's his icon or his avatar suite? Do we know who he is?
No, it's a little. It's an old school anime character. I think it's Lupin the Third anime character, but he uses an R instead of an L.
Oh, he's not on Gun Channels right now.
He's not on Gun Channels right now, but if you see the image, you'll not recognize him.
I thought it was like a little Winnie the Pooh or something. If I've been looking at it wrong this whole time.
It's like a little Shin-Chan wearing Lupin the Third outfit. I think that's what it is. Anyway,
this is the myths part. Screw you. This is the best part. Tractor!
He's asking about an AK front sight block combo. He says, any reason people put gas block front sight combos on their AK rifles? I've seen lots of pics and YouTube videos. No one ever explained why, other than it looks cool. Weight savings, ? I can't see much.
No,
I wouldn't do it
don't do that.
To any of my current AKs, but I'm curious if anyone knows. As far as this one, we're not that big of AK experts, but what we can tell you on that is it's either one of two things. One, they're in a state where they have to replace the front, the gas block, because they live in a state which does not allow them to have a bayonet lug, which is attached to the gas block. Or two, they're just trying to be fucking tactical, and it looks awful.
Yeah, I don't get that, because it's like the AK already has a pretty short sight radius, and now you're going to bring the front sight like further back.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
what are you trying to shoot, a pistol? Or you're going to have like a 3-inch sight radius on that thing. It's ridiculous.
So that's our view on it. It's done for tactical. It has no benefit. We can only see what's the opposite of a benefit?
A negative?
A demerit?
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
we
negative better, but okay.
We can only see demerits to it because it's more of a tactical thing, or it's what I can have instead of having a bayonet lug.
I guess I haven't really seen that before. I'm not familiar with a AK gas block that has a sight on it.
No, Rupan, if you can, go ahead and send us a picture of one of the ones you've seen, so that we can talk about this again at another time, or maybe why don't you do this?
Image it.
Why don't you do this? This week, Thursday, we're going to have the AK-47 podcast. Why don't you send in an email to GWebs for the AK-47 podcast so I can let him know and we can possibly touch on the subject so that we can go expand it even further.
Yes.
Can you guys see that on the screen?
Block front sight.
That's a K-bar. I've seen that before on a few models of AK, though, that actually come that way from...
Yeah, look what it does. Look what it does. It takes away the whatchamacallit, the bayonet lug.
Yeah.
And it adds a Picatinny rail underneath there so people could put fucking lights. And it looks ugly. It does not look like an AK then.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look good with the wood furniture. I mean, maybe if you also had all of your hand guards were all cheese graters and stuff, like all tactical shit, it might kind of blend in. But I don't get why you'd want to move your front sight a couple inches closer Like I said, when your rear sight's already way up front anyway.
Pence just said he's seen them on cranks because there's not enough space to have both the gas block and the front sight.
Yeah, you know, I guess it would really limit the possibility of having a canted front sight. I mean, you're going to have pretty much a straight lineup for that gas tube to function, you know. It's gonna, that'd be one thing.
No,
from
you
it,
can
but
still cant that. If your gas block was canted a little bit, it would.
Yeah, I mean, it's locked in. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
I don't know. I'll get out a screen
with the whole where if it's an AK pistol, I can see that, but at the same time, I'm still gonna tell you, your accuracy is probably going to be shit with that pistol. Just saying. You know, granted, this is my opinion, so take that for what it's worth.
Oh, that was
like
that was on a pistol.
Like this one, right? This, I guess, kind of makes sense because it's, you know, gas block front sight, and then that's the end right there. Like, that's the muzzle brake or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, if you got something super short, I could see, like, even here, you can't really put a front sight also up front here. But unlike those other pictures you were showing, like this one, you have plenty of barrel left to do. Like, you don't need that. You could still have a front sight up here. Maybe. I don't know. Just seems a little odd.
That is definitely
that must be what it is. It must be. So, to answer his original question, I think we found the answer. Why do people do it? They do it because they don't have enough room on their barrel to put a front sight on there also.
Or they're looking at possibly making their AK into an SBR, you know, where it's possibly, you know, you're going to shorten the barrel anyways. So you're
right,
gonna,
like right here, the barrel stops right here, so you have
right.
to.
Absolutely.
Why people would do it when, like, you already have room for a front sight? Like, if they replaced this gas block with one with a front sight and got rid of that, I wouldn't understand that as much.
Yeah. But if you're doing it on a pistol or an SBR, I can see the reason why they do that. It's because there's not enough space. But otherwise, if you're doing it on a full length AK, there's no fucking point to that unless you're going to cut that barrel in half and, you know, SBR the damn thing. Well, SBR and then cut it in half, excuse me, because you don't want to cut it before. You want to cut it after you get the SBR. Because if you do it before, you'll get arrested. You know, you don't want to get into that. And remember, AK pistols have a slight range disadvantage with them. So, you know, honestly, if you don't need it, don't put it on. Just go with regular sights. But I hope we answered that the best we could. Maybe, you know, we'll talk to G-Webs and see if he can go into a little detail during the daily, not daily, but the AK-47 Guru podcast on Thursday, so we can go into a little detail on that. So, you know, keep a lookout for that. I'm sure we got another question, so let me get to that. All right. Rockhopper wanted us to go over, share our thoughts on the Springfield and Rock River Arms sellout. We just did that, so you know, you're ahead of the game, Rockhopper. You already know what we were going to talk about. Congratulations. So that's the email portion. Anyways,
that was fun.
Does anybody have any questions out there on the gun channels or YouTube side you want us to go, you know, and answer? You know, we're up for more questions this evening, guys. You know, whether it's you're building an AR pistol or an AR, or whether you want to ask advice on, you know, accessories for your AK, you know, whatever. Just shoot us a question, because, you know, that's what we're here for. So.
Yep. But until then, you guys want to hear about NRA?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Heck yeah.
It was fun.
Yes.
What happened at NRA, Smeggy?
It was fun.
How was the Springfield table, Smeggy?
I don't know. It was all right. Actually, that was kind of funny. Like, the news was coming in. I think I heard about it on, like, Saturday or Sunday or something. So it was kind of interesting. I had already looked at their new fucking hammer fired thingamabobber, and the trigger sucked and had like super long travel, and I don't get why they would do that. And I'm a hammer fired type person. I tend to like them better than striker fired. But even I looked at that, I was going, why would you take a striker fire and turn it into a hammer fire? Because this is dumb. So that's the only word I can say about that, is it was dumb. There was some cool stuff at the show, though. Well, let's stick with not necessarily the cool stuff yet. So, the new Taurus AR, it's an AR. Kind of like the Saint, it's an AR. So I'm sure Matt will get a Taurus AR because he's in bed with Taurus. But
Maggie, is it true they're MSRPing those things for like $1,200?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even read the little thing if it said it or not.
$11.99. I basically I did a little overview video on it. I went over to PSA and I more or less priced the exact same thing for identical, handguard, everything. It was like $500, $550. The only difference is whatever PSA's coating is. I think it's nitrite or melanite on the Taurus. Melanite coating on the BCG in the barrel.
All right, I shouldn't. I shouldn't answer this one from Pants, but I'm going to. He asked, why did Palmetto... I got a question for Night Strike. Why did Palmetto State Armory hold my order for 10 days? Hashtag Neil Striker, hashtag Big Palmetto. Okay, I will answer this. If you don't know already, Palmetto State Armory buys their parts in bulk. And we're talking like in the thousands where it's $1 million order or whatnot. So... it takes them a while to get that order in, sort it out, and then send it to, whoever has bought those parts from them. So usually it takes 2 weeks if you're on the other side of the country, it takes 2 weeks or more for it to ship. I'm sorry it's like that, but that's just how it is. Palmetto State Armory is known for great prices on AR parts, but they're also known for long wait times. It sucks, but shit, if you want a good deal on a part, you're going to have to... give a little leeway when you order it.
Well, and that's like if you're buying an upper from them, aren't they? I mean, they're building the upper, so sometimes they have to build the thing first.
Yeah, sometimes they're making it themselves in some of their factories, so they're waiting on the parts to get into them so they can assemble them and then ship them out to you. So that's why it takes so long. I know it sucks, but it's not like you can just clap your hands and somebody builds a car right there for you in like half an hour.
I've always heard of this. It was brought up in a class about programming, but I think it applies to a lot of things in life. And it's like, think of it like a triangle. And the 3 points of the triangle is affordability, high quality, and like fast delivery. You can never you can't have all three. So you have to kind of pick which parts are important to you. So if you want something super high quality and done super fast, you're going to pay a lot for it. If you want something super cheap but super high quality, it's going to take a long time to get done. And whatever the other combination is, you guys understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And again, that was brought up about like programming, right? Because they're like, oh, if you want something super fast and cheap, like we'll get it to you, but it'll be shitty. So that'd be the third combination. Is you can have 2 out of the 3.
And
it happens in a lot of things in life. I mean, you want something right this second and you want it to be really good, well, then you're going to have to pay a lot. Like it just makes... So if you're getting the cheap one you already want and you want it high quality, you're not going to get it fast. If you want it cheap and fast, you're not going to get high quality. So I would much rather have high quality, especially if you're talking about firearms. I want them to put that thing together correctly, not just throw it together in 2 seconds. So that's that.
That's the Taurus. What makes them think their rifle is worth more than freaking, I don't know, the Ruger AR-556 is like $700.
There's abs. I mean, I read through everything, every little detail on that gun. I went through all the specs. I can't find anything at all to justify the price. Other than that's just the MSRP. Now, granted, it might retail for $9.99. But, they were talking about, what is it, MPI, Inspected Bull Carrier Group, and and this and that, mil spec buffer too. I'm like, okay, well, so is PSA. So
Yeah,
is,
it's nothing special. It isn't.
No. I mean, I've never shot the thing. It doesn't. I don't think it even has like an aftermarket trigger in it. It's just a mil spec trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
look at all this.
That was my answer when I held it and was playing with it and stuff. Was it's an AR. I didn't know that's what their price was going to be. Like I said,
Yeah, I would
didn't
have
even look at
straight
it.
up asked a representative, why are you guys asking that much? How do you justify the price? Is it your labor cost? Is it your marketing? What is it?
Okay,
Why?
hold on, guys. Steadley asked the
Are you
question.
using a cold hammer forged barrel?
I don't think they even say. No, it's like a chromoly vanadium something or another. I think it's
Guys.
upper and lower. Do they have like
Please
bill upper and lower?
interrupt us while we're talking about something. What is it?
Steadley has asked the question, Night Strike, have a shotgun yet? I don't know. What do you think?
I think that was a pretty good YouTube video you pulled up a sound effect off of.
Really? You think it's a YouTube video?
That's just his airsoft gun.
No.
So you hit repeat a bunch of times. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh, all right. You guys are gonna be like that. You're gonna make me turn the camera on. Oh man, I don't think you like what you see.
Probably not.
I have a shotgun. It's a Steven
Oh, so
67.
you found a YouTube video of some dork with a Mountain Dew T-shirt on that has a shotgun.
Fuck you, Smeggy.
And now
Fuck
you're
you.
screen sharing.
This is my shotgun. Okay, I have a shotgun.
Prove that's really you. Hold up an AK April patch.
I don't have it in this room, actually.
Oh, see, so that's a YouTube video.
That could be me. That could
wait.
actually be me on the other end. We're feeding my video line through.
Wait,
So.
I do have an AK April patch.
Oh,
There you go.
See, it is me, AK April.
Okay,
It's
I
confirmed.
take back what I said.
All
That
right.
is a nice strike sighting.
So yes, I have a shotgun. It's a
I
Steven
don't know. Nice
67
guy's kind of like a tech guy. He could have just easily
3D
Photoshop
printed
an
one
AK
of those.
April patch into a video.
Heavy B, if I'm a tech guy, I can easily eject your ass out of this chat. So shut up.
Oh, ow, ow.
Shots fired.
Oh.
All right,
Jeez.
stop trying to shame me on my own fucking
Push the
chat. What
button.
the hell?
Stop talking shit and push the button. You want to kick me out?
Oh,
So anyway,
man.
before we get into a
All
fight,
You guys get nasty, man.
you want to hear
All right.
something cool about the show?
Please,
All right,
Maggie,
go for
save
it.
us.
Okay, there's this company. I think it's kind of a small company. It's Foxtrot Mike Products, like F&M Products, but they had it spelled out Foxtrot Mike. But whatever. They have a polymer lower that is like reinforced with aluminum, titanium, and stuff, and it's a pistol carbine type of thing, right? And so what they have, you got the regular magwell and all that stuff, and it's ambidextrous for bolt catch, for mag release, all that stuff, safety, like everything's ambidextrous. It looks pretty cool. But then they also have mag storage in the pistol grip. So it uses Glock mag, so you can get the fun sticks. You can put a fun stick in the magwell and then a fun stick in the pistol grip and be like bam, 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 drop the other one, put it in, bam, 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 bam. It's really sharp looking. They had it as a pistol build at the show, and it had a blade on it or whatever, and then the thing. But it's really, really cool. Oh, and it's a front charging AR. That's just kind of neat. And I'm trying to remember what the price is. You can buy like the upper and lower separate, slap them together, and it's like $600, $700, something like that. Like it really was not that expensive at all.
Okay, Cycle Camp on the Gun Channel side asked, did Browning design the 45 ACP or just the 1911?
I don't know. He wasn't at the NRA show, so I didn't ask him.
John Moses Browning originally designed the model 1900/1902 Colt pistol, which was used for trials for the U.S. military because they wanted a new handgun, sidearm that had knockdown power. They were first designed in 38 ACP, but the issue is it wasn't a big enough cartridge for knockdown power. So he went and designed the 45 ACP round, and he rechambered what became the 1911 in 45 ACP, and that's how we got it today. So there's your answer. And I do know this because I've looked it up.
Oh.
I've done research on this because I won a 1900.
I read stuff.
1902.
Woohoo!
I have knowledge. Shit. How about that?
All right, man. While you're at it, check out Link's question on the YouTube side.
And yes, AC97, Wikipedia does say John Browning designed the 45 ACP, so I am fucking right. So there you go.
Yeah, so there. In your face.
All right. Anyways.
But something else that was cool at the NRA show, I have never used these before, and I am definitely seriously looking at them. Hollow Sun, they make red dots and RMRs, and they have like solar-powered red dots, so pretty much like you don't have to worry about a battery, because as long as it's bright out, it runs off solar panel, and then if it's not, it runs off the battery. And what is cool about it is that it senses the amount of light, and it will automatically make the dot brighter or dimmer based on the ambient light. And you can do like dot mode or circle with a dot, which I really like the circle with a dot, because if like they're both there, so you don't have to worry about it, and just use the circle if you're just trying to, whatever, hit a bad guy type of thing, and use the dot if you're trying to hit a bullseye. It is really cool. So I'm very interested in that product, and I'll probably be getting one because I think they're cool. And like they just came out with the solar powered RMR that has a little solar panel on like the top of the hood. And I'm not sure if that one adjusts to ambient light or not. I was looking at the rifle one that did. But that was their new thing for the show, was the pistol RMR that had the solar panel. So I just thought that was really cool, right. Especially for prepping and shit. Like, you don't have to worry about batteries, and you're good to go. This could be 10 years after the zombie apocalypse. Batteries don't exist anymore. Yeah, your shit won't work at night, but it'll still work during the day.
There you go. Link Hyrule 03 on the YouTube side asked, question, I want a red dot sight. I want an auto on feature. Sight turns on when you pick up the rifle. No magnification. A large window and an EOTech style reticle. Dot with circle. That's
I don't know
great.
if Holosuns have an auto on, but if they do, get a Holosun.
That's what I'm going to say. Get a Holosun.
I don't know if they have auto on, though. I
don't either.
I don't remember.
So
you look at so much different shit. I don't remember that part of it, but it was cool. Very cool.
All right. Is there any other questions out there? Do you want to continue on with your NRA presentation, Spikey?
Yeah. I mean, I'll open this up to questions from the outside if there's anything. I'll have to admit I was very much off my game at NRA this year. I did wander around. I looked at a bunch of stuff, but like my brain was kind of scrambled, and there was stuff going on and everything. So I didn't do the best job. This is not an all-exclusive coverage. If you are looking for someone who did an awesome job at NRA, awesome fucking job, and he's a super, super cool dude, check out Pink Panther on Instagram. I think it's Pink Panther 69. There might be an underscore in there somewhere. But check out his Instagram. He was fucking nailing it. He took so many good pictures, a lot of cool stuff, way better than I did. So check him out for sure.
All right. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out.
Oh, I saw All Star Tactical. The guys that do Crash and Burn, or they used to. Mike and Glenn were there, and they said they're thinking about starting up the show again. I know they did it on Gun Channels, and they interacted a lot with us, so that was cool to talk to them.
Why did they stop doing it? Did they mention why? Did they just
I didn't ask.
Time?
I'm guessing, yeah, it was a time thing, because if you remember, around the time they stopped, they moved into a new shop, and they bought a new CNC machine, and they were, like, really working on getting their business cranked out, so I'm guessing it has something to do with that. I didn't ask in case it was like, oh, my kid died or something. Like, oh, I don't want to bring that up.
Right.
So,
right.
I didn't ask, but I did talk to him for a little bit, and Mike was saying, yeah, we're thinking about starting that back up. Ow, son of a fuck! Oh my god, motherfucker!
Hit
Are
your
you
toe?
okay?
Oh, fucking A. Yeah, I just smashed my toe into the step. Oh my god, that fucking
All
hurt.
right. I think you need to go to the
You need to go to the
doctor
hospital.
tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Shit.
Dude, come on, man.
For anyone that doesn't know, Smeggy has been having problems with one of his toes. He thinks he broke it, so he just stubbed it on something again.
Oh my god, that fucking hurt.
Probably not a good idea, so he's probably going to have to go to a physician and have that looked at.
Dude, does this count for workman's comp? I am suing the shit out of him.
No, you can't sue us because it's your fucking house.
Yeah, but I was on hit or miss. when
It's
it
your
got to
house. Sue
workman's
yourself.
comp. Yeah, but it's workman's comp, dude.
Hit or miss is half yours. So you have to.
So then I'll sue myself, but I still want your half.
No, Obama can't let that happen.
I don't have a half, so you can have half of what I have, which is nothing.
Oh my god, that fucking hurt. Holy shit. Oh, I was starting to feel so good too. Like it wasn't even hurting that much. Holy fuck.
So
Hey, Smeggy, if it hurts, don't do it.
Okay, I won't stub my toe ever again. Holy fucking A. And now I'm really out of it. I have no idea what's going on with the show.
I don't either.
Oh, we made an hour at least.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it anymore.
I think we're gonna call it there, guys. If you have any questions, comments, if you got any topics you'd like us to go over on the show, just send us an email. That's nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGHTSTRYKE, the number 1@gmail.com, and we'll try and go over it. We're getting better at this. I'm trying to get better at this, but that's that. Steadley, Night Strike, Smeggy, what happened to PBR? We have no idea. He was there one day, talking about how you have to go to Simpson Ltd. if you wanted to get a overpriced an overpriced antique gun. And then he was gone the next day. No idea where he went. So.
Hey, you still with us? You okay there, man? You seen the light? Stay away from the light, man.
You ever see that part of Family Guy where he's like, ow.
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now, buddy.
Smeggy is doing that right now. But
yeah.
We're gonna go a little longer. Okay, guys. While we do have our ads back on our videos,
I'm not crying, G-Webs.
We don't know how long that's gonna be. So I am working on actually making actual shooting videos. Granted, I don't know how well they are. I made a couple. I took a couple videos today. I'm gonna do some more tomorrow. We're gonna see how that goes. I might edit just a little bit. If anything, just add a intro to it and a ending to it, so it looks at least somewhat presentable. I don't know. I'm not the best at editing video and whatnot, so you'll have to cut me some slack on that. But if you'd like to support us and help us out, getting better equipment to do more videos, to start covering some of the things you want us to cover, like
Paying for Smeggy's lawsuit.
Like, say, you want us to cover something at NRA show at the NRA annual meeting next time they have it, or if you want us to, cover a SHOT Show or something, please go ahead and go to the Patreon I've got set up. I've got it in a description in the video, and give us $1 or $2. I mean, it would really help us out. If you don't, I understand, but I figured I'd just go and say that at the end of the show just so that everybody knows that we do have something set up. You could also go to the Gun Channels page. It's gunchannels.com/hit-or-miss. And we got, I've got a PayPal donation link up there too if you want to just do that. So either way, if you'd like to help us out, let us know. Anyways, with that being said, check me and Smeggy out on Instagram. Check us out on, I don't know if Smeggy has a Facebook. I've got a Facebook, even though Facebook is anti-gun. I do have one. I've got Twitter too, so check us out there. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. And if you were watching Hit or Miss as well as listening, I'd like to thank you especially. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon supporters that do support us right now. And anyone that gave us questions today, thank you for your questions. I look forward to seeing your emails and your questions or your suggestions for topics next week. So with that, I'm going to end it and say...
And listen to Every Second Matters from today. It was a really good show today.
Right.
One of the better ones for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Absolutely. So thank you all for participating with Hit or Miss and listening and watching. And with that on that note, this was Hit or Miss.